Your boy JAYSTAR back again with another video for you today. So we're gonna get into this today. I just wanted to go over the different ways to make winning stacks. So there's so many different ways. It's about I want to say about five, ways to do stacking. So just want to go into that to help y'all out for week one. And we're gonna get right into it with the Millie Maker right here, drafting it up. See what we can come up with, helping y'all out. So okay. So one of the ways that people one of the biggest ways to win is the double stack. Okay, so double stack, is if I take Pat Mahomes, I go ahead and look at receivers, and let me get on just to this game so I can just focus up on that, and then I just take Juju and MVS, or I could also went ahead and took Kelsey and Juju or something like that, and that's a double stack. You got one quarterback with two, of his weapons, receiving weapons like that. So this is one of the stacks, and then you can always run it back with one person, that you feel like on the Arizona side, being it could be running back or it could be a deep threat target or something like that 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 Kyler Murray is going to throw to as his weapons as well. So, but the thing about the double stack that I feel like most people don't talk about that you should be looking for though is when you do a double stack, the best thing is either you're looking for the main touchdown receiver weapons and stuff like that, the ones that's looked at the most in the red zone, or you want to kind of have like instead of having Juju, since I know he's more of a short yardage person, and I got Kelsey right here that's a short yardage person. I feel like the thing that people don't tell you is like you want to have the person that okay, Kelsey is more like a red zone targeted weapon for Pat Mahomes. Does a lot of short yardage type plays and stuff like that. Maybe this year he might have more deep threats, but he's really not always the person that's getting them down the full field and stuff like that. Like he's not going down a 40-yard, 50-yard play and stuff. So you kind of want to have that person. That's what I'm saying. When you do the double stack, you want to have the person that's getting them down the field. So I mean, if we come to realize like by week 3 that it's Juju, or week 2, we already kind of figure it out that it's Juju who's they're taking deep shots to. But more than likely, we seen Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and how they play. They're gonna go to their fast, deep threat receivers, which they have 3 of them. So, I would go ahead and pick one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I would do a double stack with, okay, I want Hardman because he's going to be the deep threat, get him down the field, 20-yard plus plays and things like that, So he has a shot to get 100 yards out of 2 catches, or even 100 yards in 4 catches. So he can only, he can just have 6 targets and then he's already at 100 yards, So that's a successful play right there, you know what I mean, as one of your people in your double stacks, But then it's like once you get down there and you get stopped, he gets stopped at the 20-yard line. Who is Pat Mahomes probably going to look for? You know what I'm saying? Who are you going to get those touchdown points where you get that 10? And it's probably going to be Kelsey. So you want them 10 points from, when you do the double stack, you want to have the person that's getting him the yards for your quarterback because you want that 250 yards plus and stuff like that, So you don't want to have like 2 people that's short yardage players. If you're thinking Pat Mahomes is going to throw 250 plus yards, you kind of want to have that receiver that's getting those yards for him. And then after that, you're like, okay, who's the receiver that gets him the touchdowns? Who does he really look for Hardman in the red zone? Last year his red zone targeted receiver was Tyreek Hill, I believe, first, and then it was like Kelsey and then Hardman or something like that. Like they was like neck and neck. So you kind of want to make sure you have, like at least you have a chance that Hardman could break one off of the 40 yards and stuff like that, can be gone and take that to the house for a touchdown, or you can have Kelsey, get the short yardage touchdown if he gets stopped at the 5 or the 10-yard line, something like that, So that's what I'm saying. When you do the double stats, make sure you keying in on who does the quarterback actually get down the field with, and then who does he like to throw the touchdowns to once he gets down there, just in case this guy gets stopped short. So that way you have the perfect stack, when you do your double stacks. Now, let's get into the next stack. So the next stack I want to go through is the skinny stack. The skinny stack gives you more options, so you can do multiple stacks in your slate or in your lineups that you're making. Okay, so a skinny stack would be, let's see, last year would have been like Rodgers, with Devontae Adams. That was a good skinny stack. But skinny stack is basically just one quarterback right here, of course, and then with one main targeted receiver. So if Devontae once again gets the same amount of targets that he was getting, and he's the focal point of the whole offense. Like I would say, like, okay, another focal point of an offense was what's his name? Oh, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp. Come on now, like Cooper Kupp was the person that they got down the field with, as well as the same person they was looking for to get the touchdown once they got down there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to make sure when you do a skinny stack, you have the person that does both. Is the dual threat basically. Gets them down the field. Is for the offensive scheme, that's the person they look for to get down the field for deep route plays or just to chip away 20, 15 yards again, and then when they get to the red zone, they still looking for that same target, same target weapon on the team, and last year that was Devontae Adams for the Packers, like that was my team, and I knew like I wasn't really picking Rodgers with anybody else, like I was Devontae Adams, Rodgers, and what you're hoping for is that if you can see that the offensive scheme is going to work today, if you have saw that the Chargers have been giving up number one receivers, and so everybody's number one receiver is going off for 20 plus fantasy, sometimes 2 touchdowns. And then you've seen that here comes Derek Carr with Devontae Adams, like that could be a 2 touchdown day for Devontae Adams. Plus that's 100 something yards. So Derek Carr could get you to 18 to 20 something fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Just you thinking like Derek Carr might throw 250 yards. He's not going to only throw his yards to Devontae, but you have seen, like I said, if you already saw from the last 2 weeks or so that the Chargers been getting up number one receivers, then you would know, like, okay, I could just skinny stack this. You know what I'm saying? Because Derek Carr loves Devontae Adams. They use him to get down the field. They also use him when they get to the red zone. So that's how you do skinny stacks. Skinny stacks can benefit you in so many ways because like a slate like this, matter of fact, like since we have this big slate right here with 13 games and stuff like that, sorry about that. But since we had a slate with the 13 games here, like you're probably going to want to have multi-stacks from other games, and skinny stacking is the way for you to benefit in doing that. If you look at this Jacksonville and Washington game and you're like, man, I really wanted to have McLaurin and Christian Kirk on a run back, when you skinny stack, it gives you so many options to be able to do that. Now you can either have 2 more games, that you stacked against each other with a running back versus a tight end and a running back versus anything here, a receiver or another running back, whatever you can think of. A skinny stack gives you those options, so that way you can be a part of more of the these games and stuff, like like people probably gonna want to have this game, especially with Hard Knocks, showing Detroit right now. I'm sure everybody wants Swift. Things like that. So it's like, and then you go on a run back option now, and you could just say, okay, I want the tight end, and now I can put in got it, right? Now you got that. See, a skinny stack could benefit you in so many ways because now you're able to get more, to be more a part of more games. You know what I'm saying? That way you don't feel like you're missing out, But like I said, you do want to make sure when you are skinny stacking though like that, make sure you're grabbing the, the main threat weapon for that team and that quarterback. Who is he really keying in and looking at to get him down the field as well as scoring touchdowns? And I mean, you're going to be able to see by, week 2, week 3, who those quarterbacks like to focus on and who's really getting them down the field, who are they throwing the 20-yard plays to and stuff like that, as well as who are they looking for, at the red zone and getting the most red zone targets to. So that's what I'm saying. Like a Carr, Devontae Adams, like I'm just going off of like last year, like I said, since Devontae was the main person for the Packers, getting them down the field as well as the target in the red zone. And like I said, the same thing was with Stafford, with Cooper Kupp. You wasn't really having to take Stafford with a dual, he wasn't double stacking with Stafford really because Cooper Kupp was that like skinny stack player. So that's the end of the skinny stacks though for y'all, just to show y'all. I just wanted to give y'all benefits of like each ways of stacking. Now the last stack we can have, or one of the last stacks we can have at least, would be, it doesn't, I mean, they don't really do this no more. A lot of people used to do this, but the last stack would be the naked stack. Like you just going naked. Like Pat Mahomes okay. So the way you do these, like Pat Mahomes, Herbert, they're probably more of the quarterbacks that you can naked stack. If you think Pat Mahomes and Herbert is about to have a 40-point game, fantasy, and just because they're going against they could be going against like the Jets or something like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like last year at least, maybe not this year, but Herbert is more like Pat Mahomes this year because Herbert's weapons cost a lot. So like you take Herbert, it's hard to grab his weapons. Like you go to Herbert, you go just key in on here, like you got 7,600, and then you got Palmer at 38. Tight end is cheap though, at least, but you trying to get his running back that he pass catches to for touchdowns. One of his main targeted receiving options in the red zone. All his weapons, his biggest weapons, cost a lot. So, but what can benefit you though on taking Herbert is, like I said, if you know he's about to go off against a team, and light them up. The best part about Herbert is he spreads the ball. He spreads the ball all around. So you could take him naked and just say, man, I want the biggest amount of points. Like he might spread the ball out too thin for you, with going to Keenan Allen a little bit of Mike Williams, and then the touchdown ends up being to, Everett or something like that for 3,800 there, like right there. So, and then it's like, man, like nobody really gets the, the bulk of the fantasy points because he spreads out so well. But the main points, who gets the most points will be Herbert. But in like I said, what benefits you in this type of stack is like, at least you're getting the best quarterback of the day. Like you just keyed in and you already knocked out basically the best quarterback of the day now. So your next thing after that is like, now you have 7 positions, I believe. Or wait, is it 8 still? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 positions that you can now go through all the best games and grab a 1v1 stack from. You know what I'm saying? Like now you hit on the biggest game right here. That's probably going to be a highest scoring game. And you said, man, I'm just going to go naked with Herbert because I want to go to Cleveland and Carolina or something. You might want to go to this game. You might be like, man, I really wanted to have McCaffrey, he costs a lot and stuff like that. And then you want to run back or something. You like Amari Cooper or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you want to hit on some other games though. So the way that you benefit on here is that you get to go, like I said, just like the skinny stack was another way to be able to be a part of multiple games, especially when the slates are really big. It makes it a lot harder, because you're going to have to already at least cancel out some games that you're not going to play in. But it's like, you don't want to miss out, of course, I know, on games, like it could be 3 to 4 other games that that, man, I would love to have just some type of weapon that maybe everybody is on or maybe nobody is on, but you just might just want just to be a part of the game. And that way you can get points there. And the ways to do that is basically the skinny stack or the naked stack. Those 2 other stacks can benefit you so many ways. But like I said, if you want to make it just simple, I would stick with the double stack, because that way you're, when you're doing a double stack, you come in here, like we saying, like you got Herbert, you wanted to go ahead and put Eckler, and you want to have let's go Keenan Allen or something like that. Let's see, Keenan Allen right here. You want Keenan Allen, Eckler, and then you can run it back with, let's see, tight end. Let's go with tight end Waller or something like that. So at least now you're down to, I believe, 5 people, or 4 actual weapons that you would have to pick, and then a defense. At least it narrowed it down when you do a double stack and a run back with that. Like it narrows down to the most easiest amount. Now, like you only got 4 other weapons to choose from that you can go ahead and take 2 from 2 other games. Man, you can even do 1 other game if you can figure it out, but 2 other games, or you can be a part of 4 other games still, you know what I mean? And just 1 off each person. But the double stack is probably the most easiest. Like I said, it wins. It's won a lot of times, man. A lot of people go with this type of stacks like these. But you can benefit a whole lot off of getting the right skinny stack too as well. Because like I said, you're able to branch out to more games that's high fantasy games and get different stacks from there. You know what I mean? And also, I just want to go over like some quick like stacks besides having quarterbacks, because I know a lot of people talk about the stacks with the quarterbacks and things like that, but a lot of people don't tell you stacks that you can do, without them. You know what I mean? So like, because I know once you get to, let's go back. We can go back to, if you got Pat Mahomes again, and say you did the double stack and you roll with Juju. Let's go with Juju, and then I'm gonna go with I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do 2 wide receivers. So his other wide receivers, MVS. Let me get MVS at least. And so I got the double stack here, and then I want to run back. Let's just go with the running back. Or no, I'll actually go with a tight end, because let's see. So then we get Zach Ertz here. So I know a lot of people don't talk about like the stacks in between this a lot. So, like right here, we got running back. We do running back receiver, against each other, or we can do running back and wide receiver that's on the same team. And those are stacks too. Like you want to key in on like what running back gets goal line, rush attempts, and also what running back is in a good position that like he's probably like, like he's the main threat going against that defense today. Like that defense is not good, and you expect to do very well, because what that means is that's going to open up the wide receiver weapons. If the whole defense gets caught looking, at the running back, because they got to focus on him, because if he gets the ball, he could be gone for, 50 or taking it to the house, like Jonathan Taylor's and Henry do, McCaffrey's and stuff like that. Like all it does is it opens up the passing game. But the thing is, you want to be able to like key in on what actual, passing target is that going to work for. You know what I mean? Like, so say it's Jonathan Taylor. Say you take Jonathan Taylor and you're like, what receiver out of these three receivers here from Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Paris Campbell, and you kind of got to think about the quarterback you got too, that because like some quarterbacks don't, aren't able to see the field very well, you know what I mean? So they look for their short distance target. So even though Pittman could be wide open, you know what I'm saying? They don't see him, and they see the short distance in Paris Campbell. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to be able to make sure you're stacking the right two people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you take a Jonathan Taylor, and being that it is Matt Ryan, I expect him to see his deeper threats. But then it's like, okay, so what cornerback might get caught looking and the receiver is actually going to beat him within those 5 yards, like them 5 to 10 yards, because that's how, they're going to get caught looking. They're going to get caught looking within those 5 to 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? And that's the chance and opportunity for these receivers to how to blow past them and get open real quick so their quarterback can see it, and you want to make sure you're taking that right weapon. That's all I'm trying to say. So, like, in a situation like this, I would be like, okay, since I know this is a good quarterback I'm like, yeah, it could be Pittman, but I can also say Alec Pierce might get off, as a rookie. He might get off the 5 yards and be gone already, or he might slant inside within those few seconds, and the cornerback is looking at the running back thinking Jonathan Taylor's going to get it, and then he wide open, you know what I mean? So those are how you do your running back receiver, stacks like that. But there's also really good running back tight end stacks that you can do, like there's, because those are also big. It's a difference though, because like they're big targets that get open quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to be 6'6", 6'4" targets that right in front of the quarterback's face after he does that fake, and they probably don't even have a cornerback or something like that, even on, or linebacker. If they got a linebacker on, the linebacker always thinking that the running back, always got to prepare for the running back to get the ball. So in a situation like that, you see, okay, this team isn't good against the run and stuff like that, then you're going to want a different weapon, like you want that tight end. Like, just to say, like, since last year, you can do like, let me see, what team has good tight end play and stuff like that with running backs? I'm trying to get a good one. I can look at Jacksonville now, since they have ETN. So I could say it's ETN or something like that. And then I'd be like, now that they got Evan Ingram, you know what I mean? Like, he's a pretty quick tight end. Not the biggest or tallest, but he's very fast. And I know he can get off the, his mark real quick and get open real fast. So I could see them, if ETN is balling out, rushing really well, got 60, 80 yards off the, second quarter already, then I could see them faking out, with the play action. Oh, we're going to act like we're giving the ball to ETN. And then they looking for their big weapon right away. Like, you could see him get off, like I said, because if all those linebackers are keying in on the running back, then the tight end can benefit. So you can have an easy running back tight end stack because of that. So that's how you key in on those type of stacks, like outside of quarterbacks and things like that. Because once you have your quarterback stack, it gets a little complicated sometimes of finding out, like, what do I want to do next? Like, what's the actual stack? But I just wanted to show y'all, like, the way you do the running back and receiver or running back tight end stacks, or you can also still even just do a double receiver stack if that's what you want to do and things like that, or just do a 1v1, like a 1v1 receiver stack, picking the quarterback's best options and stuff like that he likes to how to get touchdowns with or get down the field with on both sides, like that. If you think it's going to be a shootout, I would rather have two receivers going against each other that I know the quarterbacks use to get down the field with. They don't got to be the actual touchdown target, player and everything like that, because I'm thinking a shootout. So I'm thinking a lot of yards I might be able to get. So that also could benefit, because you probably could get cheaper, players like down here in the 4,000, 3,000 area, stuff like that going at it, because you're just trying to get yards, you're not even thinking about the touchdown part of it. So I just wanted to go through those different stacks, like I said. So we went over the double stack, the skinny stack, and the naked stack, man. And I'm telling you, those three stacks right there will help you win big slates, small slates, you know what I'm saying, like that, and just make it easier on you, I think the next thing I want to go through on my next video will be about what type of slate should you be playing and things like that, so that way y'all can get better at winning on, the right slates from your wallet, what you willing to spend and stuff like that when you playing every weekend, just to help y'all out. But I hope that really helped y'all. It's your boy JAYSTAR. I want to say thank you again for all the likes, the new subscribers. I appreciate all y'all, man. It's been so great, very motivating to keep dumping out these videos for y'all, you know. But it's your boy JAYSTAR, and I'm out. Peace.